YouTube universe. Fizzleman1, Fizzleman sign are in. We are here for the second game of the day. And here for the 2021 season. Here in 2022, we got it here, as you know, talking about these two teams as we here in Fizzleman Picks Lounge. So everybody take note. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that. We're just making sure we're all good. We're coming in good. Everything good. The Falcons and 49ers played earlier this season, and the score went quite similar as real life. 49ers win 38-14 here in Madden Stars, and in real life 31-13 49ers win. Falcons hold same spot as real life in the playoffs or in the division. They just made the playoffs with a better record, 11-6. In real life is a 7-10 record for the Falcons. And 49ers Madden Stars hold top of the division with a record 12-5, while real life 10-7 record put in I think third. I think they was in third. Made playoffs, but they didn't win. So yeah, the 49ers didn't win, but they is a real team that made it in the playoffs. So we just making this go off and turn up and as to see who will win this game here. So without further ado, without any disturbance, without any disrespect, acknowledgement, we going through with this game in a smash. Let it rock.
Today, from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, it's the NFC Wildcard round on EA Sports. We'll see Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. The former second-round pick back in 2014, Jimmy Garoppolo trotting into place, looking to guide this San Francisco 49er offense.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against this secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that start...
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally, and you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They hand it off to Mostert. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Here's Garoppolo to throw. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to get it back here just past the 35. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice grab there for a guy coming off a terrific season, one that saw him have over 100 catches.
And when you have that many catches, that means you're a full part of the offense. And let's face it, he's been as good as anyone in the NFL this year. So it figures he's going to play a big role in whether his team can advance in the playoffs.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Here's Davis to run again on second. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The 37 on third down. From the gun, it's Ryan. He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts, 37 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Well, early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This fielded right at the goal line. Yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dante Fowler. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now a give to Mostert running right. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So pass interference to call. That's going to set him up with a 1st down.
And if it's a bang-bang play, maybe the flag stays in the official's pocket, but instead, he definitely impeded the receiver's right to catch the football. The officials letting the players know how the game's going to be called here in the 1st quarter.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A run there with Mostert as he'll push this forward and call it a 4-yard gain on 1st down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game? Maybe how to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach.
In the corner, he can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Garoppolo now. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this 1st quarter. Picked off by Duron Harmon. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo and his offense heading back on the field. So with the 3 interceptions, how does he erase those from his mind and just focus on this drive?
I think he may need some help from the coaching staff. Maybe the offensive coordinator says, okay, let's do a few of the shorter throws, quick rhythm throws where the ball's out of his hand quickly into a receiver before the defense can react. Maybe not take so many shots downfield, just in case. Get your confidence back up, and then later on, you expand the targets again.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Right?
I love it. I love it. Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion. Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle it for just a short gain.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Avery Williams deep for Atlanta. Seven yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident. But
touchdown, Falcons! Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons continue to push as they lead big here on the road. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Koo for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Garoppolo, Mostert to start things out. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down at 5. ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
A first down carry for Davis. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On first down, Ryan. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off at the 16. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Michael Walker there to bring him down. 2nd down and 7. To throw, it's Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Mostert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Mitchell. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And now off to the races down the right side. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Ryan going to give this to Davis. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Davis. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mike Davis punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Garoppolo looks to throw. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Jet sweep. Garoppolo taps it forward. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. And, oh, boy, it's something you certainly don't want to see. Deebo Samuel still down. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 41, Garoppolo got a man. That's Trent Sherfield. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Mostert. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 81 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So Garoppolo off. Coming on is the veteran Robbie Gould for the 49er field goal. The kick by Gould is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Matt Ryan and the Falcons getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw is Ryan. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Ryan. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now Ryan on first down. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. To throw again is Ryan. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. On third down, Ryan. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Well, it was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So if you get this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
There's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. As for our game, it has been very one-sided in that first half. But you can't take anything for granted in playoff football. As we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC Wildcard bout. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
And he's got some space here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Ryan uses the stiff arm. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From just shy of midfield, Ryan, that is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Ryan. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown. Quadri Olison, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Koo now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Garoppolo. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Matt Ryan and the Falcon offense set to get going again. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the 1st half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Here's Ryan. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And out across midfield down to the 45.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down.
I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
They'll run on first down. Davis. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Here's Ryan. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Samson Abukum in there to bury him for a loss of 11. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. But it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.